We have a moment of silence before we start for the suffering addict in and out of program. Will a surrender prayer, please? Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Let's for today. We do this pretty laid back. What it is, it's reflections on the weekend. We open up the microphone for anybody who would like to share on what they felt, what their experiences were this weekend. We ask that you keep it to a minimum, because there might be other people that would like to share what they had. We started this on the second convention and it worked, and that's what we do at every convention. We just ask that you keep it, to a minimum, and anybody like to come up, they can just sit up here and start from there. So I'll just open the floor to anybody who'd like to share.
I'm an addict named Dot. Hi, family. Just reflecting back on this weekend is, I really wasn't planning on coming, and I enjoyed it. I don't get to get out as much. My recovery has relaxed a lot since I've had a child, and I just don't have no ambition, and I liked it because I could just slide in and slide out, and my kid wasn't too distractive, and it got me a chance to meet some new people, and it got me a chance to to hear some recovery when I could. Like I said, I really thought I was going to a hotel. Yeah, and that was a little different when I got here. It's like, okay, you just go with the flow, and that's what recovery has taught me. You just try to be flexible and go with the flow, and things don't always work out as you planned it. And so I really had a nice time, and people have been real nice, and they've been nice to little Joe, and he's got to get back into some kind of order. So, thanks for allowing me to share.
Thanks for being here. Keep coming back.
Keep coming back.
Big preach first, and then I'll get it next time.
I'm Megan, I'm a recovering addict. Reflecting on this weekend. A lot of tears. A lot of love. A lot of new faces that I feel like I've known for years. This is my first time. It won't be my last. I want to thank you all, and I want to tell you that I love y'all. And I will be back. That's all I got.
Hey, you all right? I tell you. I'm an addict called Michael. Once again, I had another good time. Served my purpose. I came to laugh, and I did. I had always good fun. I always like to see the smiles, to be at peace. And I think that's all. The only thing I ever look for is to have peace of mind and financial peace. I like that too. I had a chance to reflect on those things. Had a nice time on the lake with my wife. Some wonderful discussion that we had and needed. So that was very important. And to be able to take another year and say, wow, there's some place I want to come back to. I can do that today. Those few years that I missed, I was here in spirit, because it was one place that I wanted to be that I wasn't. I did do other things, and other things went on, and those things I needed to do also. But I look forward to it, and I think Naria and I, we had went out to breakfast one day. I was off, and we were thinking it was last month. It just couldn't wait because the anticipation and the expectation that I have from coming here and seeing some familiar faces. This year the difference was I instead of coming with my regular jokes, I brought a joke just for Chuck. That's our job. Get together. Next we're gonna have a joke meeting next time where we'll get together, sit around, and everybody gets to tell their jokes, whether they're funny or not. Because not all mine are funny. Not everybody laughs, but that's all right too. But it is about the smiles. It is about the hugs, and it's about the unity that we come together and be able to leave here knowing that we all have impressed each other. I'm impressed with those who keep coming back. You have a lot of courage, and to be able to do that says a lot about you. So I invite everyone, please keep coming back. Come back and, like another addict and I were sharing, that first time we were sitting here and there was only 35 of us. It has grown, but it hasn't grown. So it's still good. I'd like to tell everyone, please keep coming back and have a safe ride home.
I'm an addict. My name's Troy. And I got a family member expecting me at home, so I'm going to be leaving before this is over. And I want to get up and say goodbye and that I had a great time and I love you all. I'll be taking y'all with me when I leave here. That's all I've got.
I'm Kim and I'm an addict. Hi, Kim. Oh my goodness, I've had a very wonderful weekend. I've never been to a NA convention where I go and spend the night and fellowship and get up with the same people I went to sleep with, and I've experienced a whole lot of experience, strength, and hope this weekend. Even though I'm up here boo-hooing, I've been crying all morning, but it hasn't been tears of sadness. They've been tears of gratitude. I'm very grateful that I was able to experience this weekend with the people that I got to experience it with. And I stayed up most of last night because I didn't want it to end. But I know that because of the NA unity that we have, we'll all be together even though we're not physically together. That's right. Thank you for all the hugs and the unconditional love that has been shown here at this convention all weekend long. From the time I went and knocked on everybody's cabin doors Friday night to this morning. I love you all. Have a safe trip home, and I hope to see you next year.
My name is John. I'm an addict. Hey, John. I'm glad Kim started this off this week. Instead of me. Last year when I was up here, and I got to share about this a little bit last night with some friends. Last year when I was up here, I walking around the grounds and thinking to myself, man, this is it. This is, all there is. God one-upped it. Took me to that next level of serenity and love. And just listening to some of you people that have been around for a while and knowing that if I keep coming back and I keep doing what I've been doing, that next year it's, has a chance to go one up. So I want to thank everybody. This whole experience from being on the committee to being here and just lounging around has been wonderful, wonderful experience. Never thought I'd be here. I'm grateful. Thanks.
Good
Good morning, family. I'm Anacne Marie. Oh, it's such a beautiful day. I hate to leave. You know, my daughter, we were just, putting stuff in the car, and she's saying, Mom, I don't want to leave. This is my home. I don't want to go home. Then my son saying, I said, we got to go home. No, this is my home. I want to stay here. My nephew's talking about, I want to live in a knife shop. And my son saying, this is my corner, Mom. This is my corner right here. So the kids have a place here too, and it's growing. There's a lot of more children here this year, and they're meeting all beautiful people. And I was telling my husband, look, it's growing, baby, it's growing. Look at even a lot of more children here. I said, I guess we started the trend, We brought our 4 so they could handle their 1 or their 2, But God is good all the time, and I just love it here. I hate to leave it. I was sharing with another addict this morning, and she's saying, God, the time just flew. And I'm like, yeah, last I remember was just putting the sheets on the bed. Now I got to pull them off, but it don't seem like it has been 4 days and 3 beautiful nights. Doesn't seem like that. The campfire was great. All the workshops were great. They were beautiful. And I got free, it felt good. This is some place to really sit and relax and enjoy, Now I'm blessed, to have a place to come to every year. Every year we look forward to this, Kids call it camping, but, it's all good, Someone shared, when we first got here, they were saying camp benching instead of convention, and that's exactly what it is, a camp benching, And I love it. I love it. We love it, and we all grow. We love. Look around you, how it grows. So many beautiful faces that we've seen from the previous years to the new faces today. And I hope to wish, and I love and wish to see you all next year. And I'm truly blessed. And thank you for all the experiences and the feelings that you all, brought out of me too, I love you all. And all of you have a safe trip home. Love you. Peace out.
My name is Jeremiah. I'm a grateful recovering addict. Glad to be here by the grace of God. Hello, everyone. I came late, of course. I came yesterday because I didn't even plan. Like Dot was saying, usually when I don't even plan something, a lot of stuff happens. So I just didn't even make plan and just prayed about what I was going to do this week. And turned out I came here. I had a flyer a couple of months ago, and I just thought, well, packing my stuff up, I'm going there and taking a break from all the chaos of life, being able to, we have such busy lives where we're always running fast, where we can just enjoy the fellowship. And I really like the name of the thing here. We regrow with love, because that's really meaningful, because that's where it's at. Love, love for another addict, and we can all just relate where each other's been. We all have different bottoms, different stories, but we're here today clean and sober, and the sincerity of the smiles and the sincerity of the glow in each other's, in the faces I see. And I just wish I could have been here all weekend, but so I'm just grateful to be here the time I had. And it was just neat how it worked out, because I came and I came up to I seen Abel. He's from my home group. I'm not breaking his anonymity or nothing, but I talked to him, and then I met Sharisa. I had a tape when I was in a psych ward at Ball State, and I listened to Sharisa's tape, and it just, God's sovereign will just worked out to I had a place to stay last night, a bed to sleep on. I was going to sleep in my car, So praise God for that, and I just want to thank you all for being here for me and letting me know that I'm not alone. That's all I have.
Hi guys, I'm Steve. I'm an addict.
Hi, Steve. We know you. To the mic.
I haven't talked.
To the mic.
Oh, I don't like mics.
Can't hear you.
Mics and cameras. I don't know. I I got here Saturday, but I wish I would have got here about 10 years ago. That would have been good. Good for me. I lost somebody this weekend, but I sure seem to gain a lot of family despite a loss. And I'm very grateful for your love. Don't have a whole lot in but I tend to make things worse than they are in my head, and and things aren't that bad. Things are pretty good around here. It's sure been great having all of you to be with this weekend. I needed you a lot, awful lot. Thanks.
My name's Mo. I'm a grateful recovering addict today. This place is what I need every day in my life. It's, I heard someone say it was home, and I remember last year somebody said, this is how I start my year. My year begins now, and then it goes until next year, and that kind of stuck with me. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna start my year now. When I go home, it's the first day of the year, and I get to take all of you people with me and to hold you and let you guys hold me and feel that love I got this weekend. And I was telling somebody, I said, well, I'm armed now. I got my ammunition. I can go back in the battle now because I got what I need, to go in there and fight. I just really thank the committee, the people that do the service work. They talk about trusted service. Thank God for trusted service. Right. I truly appreciate all the people that were here before me, because when I come now, it's because this is how it is because of you and those that were here before. I got so much help this weekend. I needed so much help this weekend. I really did. And I hope I was able to give a part of myself to some of you. God, if this is your first time, and I remember when I first got here, it was like I didn't want to leave either, and I don't want to leave now, but no matter what, I'm just going to keep coming back. It's penciled in for every year. This weekend, this is where I'm going to be. Whatever it takes. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I needed each and every one of you, and I had such a good time. Thank you so much.
My name is Skip. Gratefully recovering to the grace of God that ain't broken many people. Man, I tell you, my cup is full. My cup is full today, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful. And I share all the time, this is my happy place, man, This is my happy place. I close my eyes wherever I'm at, and when I'm going through something, I can close my eyes and I can see that lake and I can see the faces here, and my heart smiles, my heart smiles, I can remember the first year I got here, and there was a speaker speaking, and I was crying, and he came up to me and said, "Why are you crying?" I said, "Because it's over, it's ending." And he said, "It's never over." He said, "It's never over, that you take a little bit of this everywhere you go, you're that little beacon of light, You know, and today I know what he's talking about. You know, and I'm grateful, you know, for everyone here, you know, for this place. You know, this is real close to God for me, you know, when I get here, you know, through the whole year, like another act was sharing, you know, this has been a long year, man. It's one of the longest years since, you know, I started coming here, you know, and man, I was looking forward to it. You know, it's something that I see the light at the end of the tunnel for me today, you know, coming to this place. You know, it's like a little NA community to me, you know, and I shared with people, you know, that I like to live in the NA world, you know, and a lot of people look at me funny, you know, like, what are you talking about, you know, we still got those unquote normal people out there, you know, and, you know, that shared with me, he goes, man, you know, it talks about, you know, utilizing these principles in all our affairs. So if we do, are we, in essence, living in an NA world? You know, and that's what I choose to do today, man. You know, this is my world. You people are my family. You know, and you guys hold a place special in my heart. You know, and I'll be forever grateful. You know, to say this is a special place wouldn't be sufficient, you know, for me. You know, it's more than special for me, you know, and I'm grateful to make it another year. And like I said, you know, God willing and the creek don't rise, you know, I'll be back next year, you know. And this year we came with 4 carloads. Next year we're coming with 6, you know. And if you come back, bring somebody with you, because that's what they told me the first year I got here, is to Skip, bring somebody with you. You know, when that creek rises, coming to get you, Mike. All right. Happy birthday, Skip. Happy birthday.
It's Skip's birthday. Happy birthday. Every year is Skip's birthday.
Hello everyone, my name is Aretha and I am an addict. And there's something today that I have to tell myself, and that I am powerless over alcohol and drugs, and it has become a very powerful thing in my life today. See, I have 5 months clean, but I couldn't do it by myself. Every morning I had to get up. I had to tell myself, I said, I gotta go to a meeting today. I gotta go to a meeting today. You know, and that's how I made it. You know, ever since I've been here, I got here, I said, God, I got something He want me to do. I said, but I don't know what it is that He want me to do. And I laid down and I went to sleep, and I had a using dream. I had a dream that I was using, I was drunk, and I was high, and I was fighting over this man, and I kept saying, Lord, why you got me dreaming these dreams out here? And I laid down the next night, and I had another dream I was using again, and I said, Lord, why you got me having these dreams out here? That ain't what I come out here for. And I had a friend to tell me to turn the dream around and be grateful for it. Because you dream those dreams out here, you can leave those dreams out here. That made me feel good. That I had them using dreams right out here with all you people that love me and want to see me strive for better than what I have today. I met a friend here this weekend too. A friend that I had never known in my whole entire life. And she came to me and she talked to me and she gave me a token, and the token told me that I am the miracle. Yes. And I like that today, because I am the miracle. We all are the miracles. But I have been sitting here, and I'm not a great singer, but God gifted me with a voice to sing. And I want a song I want to sing. There's a song I want to sing to you all, and it's called Jesus Loves Me. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little one, to Him belong. They are weak, but He is strong. Yes, Jesus loves you. Oh, yes. loves you. Oh, yes, Jesus loves you, for the Bible tells me so.
Hello, family. My name's Lori, and I'm an addict. My husband and I were trying to figure out yesterday how many times we had been here. And it's like, I feel like I've been here all 6 years, knowing that I haven't. Each year, this place brings me and gives me something. It's like a light bulb clicks on, and I know what I need to do that year. I shared at a workshop about needing to turn my lifestyle around, basically. Because even though I've got a little bit of clean time under my belt, doesn't mean that you have recovery too.
Talk about it.
And for about the last 6 months, I've been more abstinent than recovering. And it's not a pretty feeling. Aretha shared with me, because we bunked in the same cabin, about her using Dream Friday night, and I was so blessed to get it Saturday night. Thank you, Aretha. It's the first one I've had in a couple years. And I too asked God, why? You know, is this a sign of something that I need to know? Went to sleep last night, and I've been bummed pretty much all weekend with a heavy load on my mind. You know, things just weren't going the way they should have been. And I pinpointed some things in my life that need to be changed. And I asked God to bring me an answer, show me in the right direction. And my questions were answered in my dream last night. And I know what I need to do, and it's going to be painful as hell. But I know I'm going to do it, and I'm going to come out of it okay. I love my sponsor to pieces. But I'm not getting what I need. I've had her for 4 years. It's going to be hard to let her go. But in order for me to grow, I know that's what I'm going to need to do. Today I'm willing to do that. Because I know if I don't do what I need for myself, nobody else is going to do it. I'm real grateful that this place is here. Because for 3 years now I've came here, and the first year I dealt with my mother's death. Last year I got past the hump in recovery stepwise. I did my 4th step, and I did my 8th step shortly after that at a retreat that we had at Wampler. And this year, it's brought me a little bit more growth on what I need to do to maintain my recovery. And it's real hard. But I know that if it comes too easy, it's not supposed to be. But I know I'll make it regardless, because I've got you people to hold me up and give me the strength that I need. And I really appreciate it. I want to thank the convention committee for everything they've done. They've been wonderful. They had it more together this year than 2 years ago when I was on the committee, and that's cool to see it grow like that. It really is. There's a pillowcase around here. I appreciate if everybody would sign it. It's going to be for next year's auction. I'm going to donate it back with a pillow in it. Just for those people who are here this year that wants to take something later on in life with them. Grateful to see you all here. Hope you're here next year. God willing, I'll be here. Thanks for everything.
Thanks for sharing it with me.
My name is Karen. I'm an addict. Excuse me if I'm a little shaky, but
We love you anyway.
this weekend has been great. I got a lot out of everything, especially the main speakers. The workshops are wonderful. This is going to be a real hard weekend for me. For an anniversary that I can't share with somebody who's not here anymore. But I brought my mom with me just to make sure that I had at least somebody besides all you guys to share this weekend with. And I love this weekend. This weekend was really, really wonderful. It was ironic that yesterday was my 4-month anniversary. Thanks. I didn't think I'd make it to at least the 2nd month, but by God's will and strength and courage and the family that I have with you guys and my mom, I made it so far for 4 months, and I've strived to make it forever. But I got to keep reminding myself it's only one day at a time. And with God willing, He's by my side. And if I need for Him to carry me, I know He will. And I know I'll be back next year because I really enjoy this weekend. Thanks.
My name's Tim. I'm a recovering addict. Hi, family. This is my 2nd year down. I've had a really great time. I've shared some laughs, some pain, some tears. Saturday, I was just in such a good mood all day long, and I went to the speaker meeting Saturday night, and I could relate to a lot of what the speaker was saying, and it took me back to some painful stuff for me. And I went around and sat around the campfire, and everybody's sitting there having a good time, laughing and joking around, and I was really kind of depressed, and I had to go and get off by myself because I didn't feel like having fun, and I just didn't feel right being around there. But that was my shit, and it wasn't everybody else's, so it wasn't right for me to sit around there and bring everybody else down just because I wasn't feeling right with myself. But I got up Sunday morning feeling good again, and that's what it's all about. I just had to go on and do what I had to do to take care of me, and that was to get away from everybody else at that time. I didn't go to a lot of workshops. I just went to one, but the one I went to I needed to be at. I went to the feelings workshop, and that's something I've always had a hard time doing, is dealing with my feelings and emotions. I've always medicated them and not dealt with them, and that's something I'm learning how to do, is deal with my feelings. And I got in touch with a lot of feelings this weekend, and some of them weren't that great, and others were wonderful. But I've had a really wonderful time. I've met a lot of wonderful people, renewed some acquaintances that I met last year, and God willing, I'll be back again next year. Thanks.
Hey, I'm an addict named Mike. What's going on? I've been here all the 6 years now and everything, and before the first couple years, I was go away from here and feeling a little lower than when I came here. I don't know. I have a self-imposed. I don't know. I just feel not part of, and my I see it's like I became an accident. You know, the accident I was having in Michigan, and I was seeing a psychiatrist or a counselor, you know, and he said, "Why did you go back?" I said, "Because sometime, I'll feel all right about it, you know." Yeah. I think it was. A little better last week. Last year, it was a little better. It's getting better. It's cool, and I'll be back next year. Like last year, I had my job, and I qualified for my vacation. At third time, I said, "Man, I'm going to a convention, you know." And they said, "Well, okay, we'll write down." I said, "Well, I forget to write down." And they said, "Well, we need you Friday and Saturday." I said, "See you Tuesday." and they're like, "I'm going to convention, you know, period, you know." And I got back Tuesday, and they gave me 3 days off, and I said, "Thank you very much." And then I came back, and I don't know, but anyway, it's a long story. And then this year, I was out of a job I said, after the convention, I get a job. My parents don't understand it. It's all right, you know, I understand it. It's cool. I have faith that it'll be all right. No matter what happens, you know. Thank you, guys. All right.
No, I'm not closing it, I just want to share. Yeah, I'm an addict. You'd asked me 6 years ago, like Mike was saying, 6 years ago I think we had 10 people sitting, well we had it over in the auditorium. We had a great time. We had a lot of expectations when we did it 6 years ago. We had these magical numbers in our head, 200 people. We were only 165 short, but but it's, everybody says, you know, while we do a good job, it's not us, it's everybody that shows up. I mean, like I tell people, I'm just grateful that we could have a place like this that they invite us back. I mean, I don't get in, when I was in active addiction, I didn't get invited back too much. You know, people say, well, don't you have resentments because you're on the committee every year? And I really don't. I do this because to see the enjoyment, like yesterday, and addicts get out in the boat and they all get in the front and the back end, you know, it's about ready to go. You know, they tell us in our program you're supposed to have balance, but they're about ready to, you know, and one year some addicts got out in a canoe with 2 girls and I knew them, and I was coming in with my wife, and they were about halfway out in the lake, and they're asking me how to steer this thing, and I mean, it's amazing what addicts will do. And, you know, the 2 of them they both couldn't swim, never been in a canoe, didn't know how to paddle it. You know, and here we are getting out here in the water, and they asked me how deep it is. I say, well, I can stand up and drink. I mean, it's not. It isn't too shallow out there. I don't, you know, and it's just the amazing things that happen around here. You know, I mean, there was another addict came. He said, "Yeah, I always wanted to go camping. I went to camps all my life, and he never rowed a boat." And he asked me how to do it, and 2 people got in the front, and he got in the middle, and it was too high in the air, and the oars weren't touching the water. And he was trying to row that boat so bad. And
Have both oars in the water.
I mean, those are the things why I do this, I think. I really know that's the reason why I stay involved with the committee. It's not for the recognition, it's not for that, it's just to see the happiness on people's face. And I've been to a lot of other conventions before I got married. No. That commitment thing they give us in this program. But, you know, and the thing here, and people ask me about it, and I tell them I think the biggest thing here is the aura of the whole place, and people drop their walls. We don't have the fancy dresses, we don't have the fancy suits. I mean, how much can you hide in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt? I mean, you know, and everybody's always happy, you know, and that's the thing, you know. I've been to some and people are miserable, and you meet people that leave in the middle of the convention, and they leave because they can't handle the serenity, they can't handle what we offer here. And like Skip was saying, you know, the thing we always, well, the first year we said bring 2 or 3 people back, but you know, we always ask people when they leave, if you enjoyed what you got here, share it with others and bring them back next year. And that's how we got all you people here today, you know, and I'm just grateful that we can offer this, you know, I really am. You know, I'm just grateful for the speakers that volunteer to come and share. I'm just grateful I'm in recovery and not using it anymore, you know, I can enjoy things, you know, and with that I'll pass and let some other people share, and I'm just grateful everybody's here this year. And have a safe trip home.
Hi, I'm Pete. I'm still recovering alcoholic and addict. This is my first convention here, and I really appreciate all you people, and I thank God for all of you, and I ask His blessings and His angels to come down and heal and be with each and every one of you, and keep you in contact with Him, and remember to pray. And I've been in NA years ago, and I relapsed a long time ago. I relapsed a while back. And I have some days now, and I really I will really miss all of you and all the experience and all the teachings that I've been taught here. And we know what to do. It's just doing it. That's what counts, you know. And we have to walk and talk, and you know, and show in action, you know. And I always remember you, and hopefully you'll come back next year in the same condition. And remember, I love you. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Dave. I'm an addict.
Hi, Dave.
This was my first convention ever. I'm not sure why, but when I was in treatment, I saw the flyer for this convention, and I've been really looking forward to coming to it ever since. Saw a lot of other flyers for other conventions in different parts of the Indiana and Michigan, but something drew me to this particular one. And when I first got here, I think I kind of overdressed. I walked in, I put some nice slacks on before I left, and a nice, dress shirt, and I got here and I got the registration, and I'm kind of looking at myself, and I'm looking around at other people, and I'm thinking, oops, you got overdressed, buddy. You stand out just a little. So I have this preconception of things, which is one of my shortcomings, which I'm trying to work on. I work on every day, and I have a preconception of the way I think things are going to be, and the way situations are going to be, and so I was kind of worried about fitting in a little bit. And I was down at the campfire on Friday night, and I was looking around and listening to people talk and people laugh, and the love that was around that campfire. You can't find that any place else, not in anything. I mean, I know there's lots of church camps and stuff that have fires and people gather around and they sing and they talk, but it's just, with us, it's different. It's just different. There's something there that you cannot find anywhere else, and that's one of the main steps of my program, is noticing and stopping and noticing certain moments that I've always missed in the past, that I've always just kind of flown by without me really stopping and thinking, that was something that I've got to remember and really think about and be thankful for. And I had another moment on Saturday night. Unfortunately, the moment kind of burned a lot of wood, but it really was a moment. I mean, it was a beautiful night. The way that 15 minutes would be nice, and then the next 15 minutes there would just be like shower would be coming down, and we had the fire going all night, and we had our shirts off and just enjoying the rain, and there's a couple of us that really, people that I saw Friday that I was looking, would never think that I would become friends with them, you know. And by that time in the middle of the night, you know, we're hugging each other and we're hugging fire in the middle of the rain, and it's crazy. But it was unbelievable, and then we went swimming, and we're looking back at the fire and seeing the fire and the reflection in the trees, and then the lightning behind it. It was something that, you know, you just never forget. Something that imprints in your mind, and you just can't forget it. So this was an excellent first convention. I couldn't ask for anything better, and looking forward to next year. That's all I got.
I'm an addict, but you can call me Ross. Interesting. I have a lot of encouraging people today, and I need them. I was sitting here thinking and hearing about some other people's thoughts and memories, and the big one for me is when I first got clean. I remember searching for this God that was out there in the distance and untouchable, and I remember hearing people talking about that mountaintop experience and thinking, man, when am I going to make it to that mountain? And in recovery, I learned that the mountains are all over the place, and that those experiences are all over the place, and all I got to do is be open to them. And for me, this weekend is just one more mountaintop experience that I get to carry with me when I hit a valley. And that's all I've got to share.
Thank you.
I'm Bernie, and I'm an addict. And you know, I don't care how long you're around, you always have fears to walk through, and this is a fear. And I've never done this before, so this is a first. You know, and see, that's why God puts me where I'm supposed to be. You know, that's what retreats are for. You guys know what I do out there, you know, and I go to a lot of big conventions. But this is, I need to keep my priorities straight in my life. You know, first thing I need is Narcotics Anonymous. Second thing I need is a spiritual program that gives me my recovery. And, you know, God's given me, he puts me where I need to be. I never know. Someone asked me earlier, you know, where are you going next? And I go, I have no idea. You know, I have no idea. You know, because like right now, today, I don't have to worry about where I'm going to be next week or next year or whatnot. You know, all I am is this is where I am right now, and this is where God wants me. You know, and you guys have given me so much. You know, I love retreats. You know, I need retreats because that helps me keep me in focus in the spiritual program. You know, because this is where for me recovery is the strongest. You know, being able to connect up with a newcomer. And be able to connect up with someone else that's been around for a while, you know, and a sister that's like right where I am, you know. We're all in this together, you know, and it's like reaching out one hand and helping another. You know, when I reach out to that newcomer doesn't realize how much she's helped me in my recovery today, and she's helped me stay clean today. You know, that's how the program works. That's how Narcotics Anonymous is. You know, this is a worldwide. Narcotics Anonymous is worldwide. It's not just in your little town or my little town, you know, it's all over the world, you know, and take what you get from here and take it somewhere and pass it on. You know, I just love all of you, and I'm just so grateful you're in my lives today. Thank you.
Hit me. Well, Bernie can get up, I can get up. My name is Kermit, and I'm an addict. And I don't know, it's not, you know, when I share, I'm not like other speakers. I want to thank the committee and you know, all the little people, Mickey Rooney. You know,
just haven't really thought about it. I guess my pat answer would be that my gratitude speaks. And I've never had a committee member come to me afterwards and say, "Well, you really could have thanked us." Usually grateful that I came to share. Just thanks, guys. I needed this. I needed this. I sell collectibles for a living. I'm in fantasy, and I drive all over the country and sell comic books, baseball cards, stuff like that. And then I do convention stuff. So I'm on the road all the time. And we were really grateful to know that we were coming here and we'd be, in the woods and we'd be with fellowship and it would be peaceful and there'd be serenity and God, I went to camp from age 6 to 15 every summer, and that was where my sanity was. My home life was very insane, and when I would go to camp, there would be consistency and nurturing and love, and I would blossom, and I would be the star swimmer. I'd have 4 or 5 girlfriends all year long, all summer long, and then I would go home and I would be a nothing. I would be a nobody who sat in the back of the room and looked out the window all year long and be the brunt of everybody's joke and the last one picked for anything. And I never put 2 and 2 together, and I did that for 15 years. So the woods and this kind of setting is really special. It touches my heart. It goes back to my safe place in my life. And, people wonder, they say, "Oh, you're so alive, and your recovery's so vibrant. Why is that?" I said, "Well, I join in. I went in and I heard the drums and I just get it down, man. Beat drum, that's just wonderful to me. It's just when you see an opportunity to participate in life, do it. Just do it. Take a risk. I was talking to somebody last night. I said, I took a risk and got on an airplane and flew from New York to Baltimore to go spend a weekend with this woman that I didn't know. And 3 years later, she's going to be my wife. What would my life be like if I didn't take that risk? It would be a world different. Take a risk. And, I heard the woman stand up talking about changing sponsorship. I'm going on my 5th sponsor. And the basic text says that, change is okay, and we gradually let God gently move us from one phase of recovery to the next one, because what worked in one period may not in another. And, people say, "Oh man, you got 16 years, I respect 4 months clean more than I do my 16 years. You know why? Because I know it works. You're going on faith. And that's what I respect. Thanks.
Hush up. I'm Shannon, I'm an addict. Kermit done beat this poor little Mike. Well, I came down here with expectations this year because last year was my first year. And I was so overwhelmed last year that I just knew it was going to be just like last year. And Michael and I were talking this morning at breakfast, and he said it's different every year. And then it took that time to process, like I guess it's supposed to be different every year. I was expecting to see the same people and maybe a few new people, but I wanted to see those same old people and check in, see how they're doing, and see how they've grown, and compare notes. And so I was let down when I got here. And then something happened yesterday. I guess I got some sleep because the night before I was exhausted. I don't want to miss any moments, so I tried staying up the whole weekend, and that didn't help. And then last night we had a meeting by the bonfire, and we promised we didn't make it huge. We just kept it warm. I got a little too close. I burned my neck, but I just wanted to keep feeling the warmth. I guess it wasn't a fire. I mean, we had those meetings like we had when I was first in recovery, you know. It was honest. It wasn't like other conventions I've been to where we're all, you know, putting on our little best $600 suits and dresses and putting on that front and like Kermit, you're just saying, you know, you go in the other room and you're all basically alone. Tried conning my brother into coming out here, and he was all, well, no, I don't want to, and yes, I do, and I was like, make up your fucking mind, excuse my French. So I was all determined. I'm like, okay, I don't have enough money to pay for him anyway, so that's fine. If you don't want to go, I'm not going to push you because I really don't want to pay. My self-centeredness, I guess. And then at the last minute, he said he wanted to come. And I had forgotten that we're supposed to bring somebody anyway. I was just going out there telling everybody I want, you know, them to come, and I didn't expect to bring everybody with me in my little car. But I'm very glad he's here. And I was a little paranoid bringing my daughter because I wanted to be selfish and go into meetings, and I figured she's going to be off by herself, but I knew Marie and Skip would bring their kids. I didn't think there'd be so many kids that no one would get bored. I mean, that's growth. I mean, they're just everywhere. And she wasn't even concerned about, you know, we're at home. Well, Mom, where are you at? Da, da, da. And she's all nervous, and I'm hugging too many people or something, and she hasn't been worried about me since she got out the car. She needed this, you know. I needed this. And somebody made a comment this morning, well, Shannon, you don't look tired today. I got enough sleep last night, or I got so much shit off my chest last night at the fire, I feel new again, you know. Skip always says this is a happy place, so I've been stealing that. Where's Skip? Because I keep telling everybody about this little happy place. He said last year that he can reflect. Every time he gets stressed out, he can sit back and remember this place, and he's there. You don't have to physically be here. He's there, and he's okay. And I needed this because I wasn't here anymore. I'd forgotten about what it was like sometimes. And I've been irritable. I can relate to what Lori's, you know. She used to beat my butt when we were little. She beat my babysitter. It's ironic she's here. I don't know. I love everybody, and I tried making. I told my sponsor yesterday I was going to make it a point to try and go around and hug everybody. So if I missed you, it's because I didn't see you. So before you leave, give me a hug if I didn't give you a hug. And I come here for hugs, you know. A lot of times we go to meetings. I just go to meetings for hugs because there's people that don't even ever get one. And that's all I wanted was just a hug instead of getting yelled at and arguing, because I love to argue, but I don't want nobody arguing with me. I don't know. But I love everybody. I'll shut up. Thanks.
I'm Ben, I'm an addict. Grateful to be here. I went to just a lot of good experiences this weekend, like always, you know. I went to this feelings workshop and was able to sit there and tear up a little bit and feel some feelings, you know. Some good feelings, you know. And I look around the room and it's like there's so many of you that I've met and known and seen around the state, and you know, maybe here, maybe somewhere else, and got to know through this program. And you know, you people keep me going, you people keep me driving, you know. It seems like this is my third year here. In the last 2 years, I've always felt like I'd always try to find excuses not to be here, you know. Like and it's like I got here and it's like I was feeling like I didn't deserve it, you know. I didn't deserve, you know. I still have those feelings, you know. Like I didn't deserve the love, I didn't deserve the connection. But you know, this is where I belong. with you people. And, I love to have a good time in recovery, and and I love to share that with other people, and I love other people to share how they have a good time, to share their joy, to share their creativity. 3 years ago, sitting around the campfire, I was scared to death to sit there and sing along with people when they were singing campfire songs. Because I couldn't sing right, or I wasn't good enough, or whatever, and I don't think about it today, and this was my first time here was the second NA function I'd ever been to, and it was just, I keep getting drawn back to here, and I thank you people for putting it on. That's all I got.
Is there anyone else that'd like to share? If not, we'd like to close then.